Hello, and welcome to the Extra Magic Hour show, sponsored by Disney Plus. Because if they can use Disney Plus, we're going to use Extra Magic Hours. All right, let's get ready for today's show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Extra Magic Hour podcast with your hosts, Tony Casanova and Parkhopper John.
All right, hey, welcome back to the Extra Magic show. John is still on vacation, and we still have Raphael from The Mouse, which you're going to go check out, themouse.com.
Thank you.
Go check it out. This show, we're going to talk still about Haunted Mansion, but we have three different topics. This one is going to be ghosts and characters of the Haunted Mansion. And then we have a topic called Behind the Scenes. Boop, peek. And then the last topic will be the voices and faces of the Haunted Mansion. And I'd like to have all those people here. Let's have a round table, get all those people here. But, all right. We can't get that far.
One day.
Where do you want to start, Raph?
I'll get started.
You get started?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So, the ghosts and characters of Haunted Mansion. The Hatbox Ghost was featured in the Haunted Mansion when the attraction first opened.
Mm-hmm.
Then he mysteriously vanished, only to reappear in 2015 in time for the 60th anniversary of Disneyland.
Yep.
Maybe for the 50th of Walt Disney World.
Yeah. Yeah. Kevin John did, that infamous Hatbox Ghost art, which I think sold for something like $8,000, I think, the original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I wonder why he disappeared. That's the question they never really answered.
Yeah.
Did he go on vacation? Did he go to hell? Where'd he go?
Probably had a Yeti moment.
Yeah, maybe.
Constance is from a far from blushing bride who is bedecked in pearls and heavily armed. Constance can be found in the attic, as well as featured in the portrait chamber atop her husband's tombstone.
That's the little bride that scares the Jesus out of you with the axe.
Yeah, that's when every single man looks at their wife and goes, "Oh, have I been good lately?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Kat Cressida does that voice. We've had her on this podcast.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Madame Leota, the famous Madame Leota, floats in the dead center of the room, calling out for serpents and spiders, tail of a rat, during her seance to bring out the happy haunts.
I wonder why a tail of a rat. Is that some kind of voodoo thing?
That or they needed something to rhyme.
Yeah, maybe. I got stuck right on that curve.
Just hearing that over and over.
Yeah. But I got awesome video because I wasn't moving.
Yeah.
And it was like I was stuck. I was like, uh-oh, camera on. And it was awesome. I love that. That was great.
So then we have Sarah Sally Slater, a delicate young girl, can be found inside the portrait chamber balanced on a tightrope as if from a circus. Yeah, that's an iconic character as well.
So you ask yourself, so where did they come up? Did somebody go to the circus and saw a tightrope person and said, all right, let's do that? That looks cool.
Disney was incredible with their gags back in the day, but yeah, you got to figure there's got to be Imagineers and things that.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of backstory to him. Yeah.
Alexander Nitrikhov is a distinguished-looking man, but as his portrait sketches in the portrait chamber, he is shown to be wearing nothing but striped undershorts and socks from the waist down. He is standing on a barrel of dynamite, and a candle lights the fuse.
Once again, you ask yourself why. Why this guy's name, Alex Nitrikhov? Why on a barrel of dynamite?
Quite an explosive man.
Yeah, exactly.
Victor Geist, the quirky German-born organist, plays the Haunted Mansion's signature tune in the ballroom to everyone's ghostly delight. Yeah, this is going to make me look into the backstory of all this.
Yeah. I think it's the one in Disneyland. Their pipe organ is from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Wow.
It's the Nemo's organ that he plays, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. little reuse of propage there.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Pickwick is the spirit from the era of Dickens, is a found swinging from the chandelier in the Haunted Mansion's ballroom. That's funny.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
The Phantom Five, the singing bust quintet, is made up of Rollo Rumpkin, Uncle Theodore, Cousin Algernon, Ned Nubb, and Phineas Puck.
Yeah. Now, the Rollo Rumpkin, I think, is Rolly Crump.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Have you ever had a chance to meet Rolly Crump?
No.
I'm telling you, if you ever get the chance to meet Rolly Crump, do it.
Just incredible.
Do it. He's a funny guy. He's got a lot of quirky things in his head, so he's a very interesting dude. Go ahead.
The Ghost Host, one of the 999 happy haunts who call the Haunted Mansion home, welcomes the foolish mortals into the attraction. It's incredible. That's one attraction that you can't even think about without the Ghost Host live voice.
Yeah, I'm your Ghost Host.
It's epic.
Yeah.
Each year, Jack Skellington gives the Haunted Mansion a holiday makeover, complete with Jank-o'-lanterns and wreaths, a real gingerbread house, and kooky characters from Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay. I am... listen, don't send the hate mail. All right? This is your family, Patreon people. Your family. So don't send hate mail. But I am not a Tim Burton fan. Maybe Batman, as far as I will go with Tim Burton. But a lot of his movies are really way out there. Alice in Wonderland. Like, all right, how much alcohol do I have to induce to make this movie make sense? You know, the Willy Wonka one he did, way out there. So I'm not a Tim Burton fan.
But do you like Nightmare Before Christmas?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I was of the opinion you were, definitely, in the sense of like, I hadn't even watched Nightmare Before Christmas. But as I started doing The Mouse and I moved up to Orlando, I had some time and I sat down, watched it one night, and I was blown away with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Really?
Just in the sense of like, I finally understood why people liked it. I'm not saying it's my favorite movie of all time or anything like that, but it's definitely, I think that's his work of art.
Okay.
Now the others, I agree with you.
That's Scissorhand or
no
Batman.
Well, Batman, I'm sure, but
all right. Is there a story in there somewhere?
yeah,
Go ahead.
it's a love story.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah. So in that movie that Tony doesn't appreciate, Jack Skellington's ghost dog Zero makes a surprise appearance among the spooky, transforming portraits in the gallery corridor when the attraction transforms into Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Interesting. Hey, the only redeeming thing I think about Tim Burton is that he worked with Lasseter at Pixar at the same time.
There you go.
That's the only connection I can make to Tim Burton without going, what? All right, let's get into some behind-the-scenes stuff. This is the good stuff, I think. First, the Haunted Mansion is the only attraction that is featured in 4 different lands in 4 different parks, and that includes the Phantom Manor attraction in Disneyland Paris.
It's got to be everywhere.
It's got to be everywhere. It's almost like, I really think they should do more It's a Small World, and they don't. I think they should torture the world with that song.
No, Tony, let it die. Let it die peacefully. I was thinking the Haunted Mansion. It's just incredible that it's literally in every part, like you're saying, and in different lands.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a global phenomenon. Hey, like I said, the pipe organ seen in the ballroom sequence was featured as Captain Nemo's pipe organ in Disney's film classic 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. See, so I knew something. I'm not
That's where you got it from.
Yeah, I'm not just a head on a stick. But it's great that they were reusing things from movies to, in Disneyland. Who else knows what else is in the park that we came from a movie?
Maybe the Millennium Falcon.
Maybe. Who knows? During the Haunted Mansion holiday, the haunted scent of tasty gingerbread wafts throughout the Grand Hall, tempting happy haunts and guests alike. Every year, a new ghoulish concept for a new gingerbread house is created for the celebration scene in the Grand Hall. And I recently, I think last year, saw a video of this, and the baker that did this retired last year after doing it for 50 years.
Wow.
Creating this, well, probably not 50, but good long time.
Yeah.
And I think it was a woman, her daughter is now doing it.
That's incredible.
So now it's like a legacy thing that's going on there.
Oh.
You know, Mom did it, I'm doing it, and now my kid will do it. You know, and they're just going to keep passing this down. But I think that thing takes like like the Florida Haunted Mansion. You know, they start in August and aren't done until November.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's almost like the same thing. This thing takes a good long time to build, and it's huge. All right, hey, the Pet Cemetery that features humorous epitaphs was added in the front of the Haunted Mansion in the 1990s. So that's very cool. In spring 2005, the seance scene was updated to include the crystal ball floating overhead. I wonder how it was done previously.
It was just static.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, that was one of the coolest.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was static there, but then that whole idea was that it could now move everywhere.
Yeah. In 2005, the Walt Disney Imagineering were able to sync the changes in the portraits along the portrait hall to the lightning strikes. Oh, that was a good idea.
Yeah, that just added like this another little cool little effect.
Yeah. Then in spring of 2006, Imagineers enhanced the attic scene, replacing the translucent static bride with a ghostly dimensional bride. And that's when this thing all took off. I think that's when Kat did the voice, and she was at D23 doing a surprise thing, and it blew up the internet.
Yeah, that was actually something I was going to try to reference earlier, and I kind of like lost my train of thought. But it's I was thinking, isn't this like the live action that I know everybody points to Pirates, but
yeah,
wasn't it Eddie Murphy's Haunted Mansion that was really one of the first live action films based on?
Yeah,
I think they should redo that film.
Not with Eddie Murphy.
No. I'm just saying, like, that film should have been better than what it ended up being.
Sure. Yeah, because it was a bomb. It was a bomb. All right. All right. Portraits of Constance feature each of her former husbands in the attic, and the heads of the grooms magically disappear as the ghostly bride recites her vows and marriage phrases, and axe appears in her hand and then disappears. So,
yeah, creepy.
I think that's one of the better effects in there too. Besides the seance scene with the floating head, this is I think a good scene too. Several Disney legends contributed to the attraction, including the infamous Mark Davis, Claude Coates, Raleigh Crump, Yale Gracie, Extensio, and Leota Toombs. Hence,
the names.
The name of Leota. Yep. I would have loved to have met Extensio. I think he would have been a hoot to talk to. I mean, he wrote stuff, he wrote scripts, he storyboarded some attractions, he created them, he imagineered them. So, and Mark Davis, I would have... He's got a new... Actually, somebody wrote a book recently. Somebody at Pixar, I think it was Alex Stanton. And it's coming out, I think it's September. They're going to sell it at D23 Expo first, and then September it'll go on.
People.
Yeah, it'll go on sale for the rest of us. But he said he's been working on this book for like 10 years.
Wow.
Talking to Alice and going to the archives and history stuff and digging up all the stuff on Mark. So I'm totally down for that. I need it. Good Mark Davis book in my collection.
Sounds great.
Then let's see. The title of the smell.
The spell.
Spell. Okay, not smell. Helps if I can read. The title of the spell that appears in the book, Seance Circle, is taken from the Disney film Blackbeard's Ghost. The large book of incarnations is entitled, what the?
Necromonicon?
Necromonicon?
I don't know. That's the best I could do with that.
All right. Book of the Dead, and open to pages 1312 and 1313. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. So, again, they used something from a movie, Blackbeard's Ghost. That's good. And then they went to a book on the dead to get stuff That's a little weird now.
Very Disney.
Yeah. That's weird. The final exterior concept for the house is heavily influenced by the Victorian era Shipley Lydecker house in Baltimore, Maryland. Now I got to go find that house.
Yep.
And find out what this house looks like. That's interesting.
Hopefully it's still preserved.
That's a pretty interesting history. I like we said, Jason Sorrell wrote a book, and I think there's other people that have written books on the Haunted Mansion. And, this is one of those attractions that has a lot of backstory,
Definitely.
a lot of history, a lot of Imagineers that have worked on it. So there's a lot to dig up on this. I mean, if you go, you're not going to find anything about the Frozen attraction.
No.
In Epcot.
No, ever.
There's just nothing. You'll get some backstory from the movie, yada, yada, yada. But it's not going to be like this, as detailed as this.
Hence the reason why we need original IPs.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what's up next?
Yeah, let's go into the voices and faces of the Haunted Mansion. So Paul Frees is the voice of the ghost host and is known for also being the voice of Professor Ludwig von Drake.
Nice.
I love that character.
Yeah. He had a great voice, Paul.
Definitely.
He had a voice for radio.
Unlike me. Eleanor Audley is the voice of Madame Leota.
Mm-hmm.
She was also the voice of Lady Tremaine in Cinderella in 1950 and Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty in 1959.
Oh, I did not know the last part of that.
That's crazy.
I want to say she was related to Leota Toombs? I don't know. I'll have to go do some research on that.
So Leota Toombs is a former Walt Disney Imagineer and a Disney legend and is the original face of Madame Leota.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'm glad she's a legend. I'm glad they inducted her.
The holiday version of Madame Leota uses the face of Kim Irvine, an Imagineer and daughter of Leota Toombs.
Okay.
There's your connection.
Yep.
The original Madame Leota.
All right. So I knew somewhere the daughter was involved with this. All right. So I wasn't cracking up.
The lyrics of the Haunted Mansion theme song, Grim Grinning Ghost, the screaming song, otherwise known, were written by Disney legend X Atencio.
Yeah. I would have loved to have been in the room with that. How did they...
No, it's just one of those things.
And didn't he write the song for Pirates, too?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Disney legend Buddy Baker created the music for the Haunted Mansion theme song.
So X wrote the words, I guess, and then Buddy wrote the music. Interesting. Very interesting.
Thurl Ravenscroft is the voice of Uncle Theodore, who leads the Phantom 5 Quintet of Headstones. His voice can also be heard at Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room as the voice of Tangaroa.
And he was Tony the Tiger.
And most importantly, he was Tony the Tiger.
That's right.
That is my whole childhood right there.
Yeah. Great!
I'm still eating the cereal to this day.
I am too. I've switched to chocolate Frosted Flakes, but that's okay.
Yep. The Mellow Men is the real-life singing group who voices the Phantom 5 singing bus.
Really?
Oh, I've got to see this. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I thought it was like the characters. Interesting. All right. Well, hey, that is the end of part 2. We want to thank you for being a Patreon, as always. You know where to find us. You can hit us up on Facebook. We're going to do a live show every Monday at 8 p.m., so don't forget to do that. And, hey, we'll see you online, and we'll see you in the parks.
The Extra Magic Hour podcast is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. All Disney parks, attractions, lands, shows, event names, etc. are registered trademarks of the Walt Disney Company.